Hello, hello. All right, so first things first, I'm going to post this into the link, comments, so that you can click the link to have me see your picture, your Facebook picture, and who you are when you make a comment. It says error occurred, so hang on. Let's try it again. All right. All right, let's see if it goes through this time. So basically, it's a link. Okay, it went through this time. It's a link that you click on that's now on the chat. And it's for me to see your picture because I'm streaming. It's for me to see your circle picture. So when you make a comment, I'm able to see who you are. All right, in order to greet you. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Raven Woods. I'm the CEO and founder of Autism Mama Rocks IEP, and I help parents gain the knowledge and the confidence to become the CEO of their IEP meeting. Sky, shut that door, please.
Oh, you're on the line?
Uh-huh.
You get the tip off the line?
Yeah. Shut the door. Thank you. Okay. Every time. I told y'all every time. I go live, she has to open the door. Are you going live, Mom? Are you going live? Are you going live? Okay, I'll talk to you soon. So that's my Skylar. So yeah. So again, I help parents gain the knowledge and the confidence to become the CEO of their IEP meeting. With that said, post a 1 below if it's your first through third time catching me live. Make sure to share this. Post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. So if you're catching the replay, post a 1 below if it's your first through third time catching us live. And make sure that you tell us where you're from and all of that fun stuff. We want to know who you are. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, go to Autism Mama Rocks IEP group and join the Facebook group. It's a private group. And for those of you who are still waiting for me to add you, I apologize. It's been a while. Apologize too because my window's open and it's hot in my office, so there's a dog barking. And of course they bark, when I go live. So with that said, let's just get started. I was in an IEP meeting today, and I always go live typically after an IEP meeting unless I'm like completely exhausted. But this meeting started out like crazy as hell. I mean, I was just beside myself. Really frustrated. Shut the door, please. Thank you. Shut the door, please. Thank you. Shut the door. And so basically what happened was I had to review the IEP again. I don't care if I was in 2 meetings before this one. They were about a month apart. So even though I review things over and over and I was ready, I had everything out, everything was prepared. The freaking principal had the audacity to say, oh, it's because you're not prepared. Now get this, watch this. This is hilarious. It comes back and backfires on our ass. But here's the thing, is I had all the IEPs out, and this drives me crazy. And you guys probably experience this too, where they send you 50 million different IEPs, goals, and present levels and everything else. Some school districts send like the present levels by themselves, the goals by themselves, the IEP by itself. I mean, it's like, what the hell? Just send the one document. All right. But then they send it before the first meeting, then after the first meeting, then before the second meeting, after the second meeting, before the third. It's like, holy shit. And if nothing changed, what are you sending a new document for? The only thing that you may send is a PWN. There is no need, none, zero, to send another IEP that you just sent already. Here's the thing. that really pisses me off is how they're different sometimes. All right. So you'll get a IEP before the first meeting draft. Then you'll get another one after the first meeting that is different. And then they'll say, oh, it's stuff we already went over. When you have another meeting scheduled, you didn't finish the IEP, but they send you an updated, so they say. No. We update it at the end once we really conclude everything, or you change it in front of my face and share the screen. All right. And if you're going to add new stuff, then you better highlight it so we know that you took the right notes and you put the right things down. So I don't have to go back and listen to the damn recording that lasts 3-4 hours. Then, one of the things that they did was I said, okay, so we got to recap everything because it's been quite some time. So we all need to go over this again. Hey, Erin, how are you? And so the principal first says, no, we're not going to do that. We already did that in the last meeting. I said, we touched it the last meeting, but we did not go through the present levels in full in the last meeting and put the things that are in the recent evaluations that we just had into the PLAAFP in the way that it needs to be. Then the teacher says the same thing. I'm not doing this. I am not redoing this. I'm not going over the goals again. I'm not, going over the present level. We already did this in the last meeting. Why do we have to do it again? Speech then chimes in. There's no reason for this. We don't need to go over this again. We just went over it in the last meeting. What is it you're wanting to see? Well, I have a meeting date or IEP dated January 12th. I received this before January 12th. Then I received another one after the meeting. Then I received another one before the meeting before that, which was 1:30. Then I received another one for the February meeting. And then I just received another one before today's meeting. What the hell? There's no need for, 4 different IEPs to be sent to me. And all of them are the same. You didn't change anything. We changed stuff. Yes, we did. We added everything from the last meeting that we discussed. We changed it. Okay, send it to me. Because I didn't get it. And then I showed them the paper, to the screen. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. It wasn't changed. Well, we're not going over it again. Yeah, you are. And you don't have a choice. You don't get a choice. You're going to go over the PLAAFP again. If I need it gone over 3, 4, 5 times because I don't either understand, which I do understand, I want more stuff in it, or, things are not aligning, or I have a gut feeling that we just need to go through it again. And one of the key things that they say a lot, and post your questions below and I'll respond to them, but, tell me if you hear where they'll say in their present levels, all these things. I mean, in this one, I have 5 paragraphs of positive strengths, which is great. We know the kids are great. I want to see the needs. I want to see the areas in which I can create a goal from so that I can serve that child. Okay? So that is the key thing. This guy's having a complete fit. So I may have to end this early because she's having a meltdown. But I want you guys to understand that. Okay? So I'm going to go because she's having a complete meltdown. But I want you to understand that is a rule. They have to go through the present levels no matter what, however many times you need them to go over them. Okay? They have to. All right? I think she might cry it out. She lets go after school. So when she comes home, she keeps it together all day at school. So when she comes home, she knows she can go into her room and have her meltdown. So I'm not embarrassed by it. I know you guys go through it too. So she goes through her meltdown, screams in her room for about 5 to 10 minutes. You can kind of hear her probably. And so she goes through it for about 5 to 10 minutes and then she's done, completely done. She'll come downstairs or wherever I am and she'll say, Mom, did you hear me? I threw a fit. I'm done now. I'm okay. Look, she's done. She hears me talking, I think. Awesome. Oh, there she goes again. But anyway, this one lasted just a few minutes. She's starting again. But that's kind of her release. It's sensory. It's, just holding it all in. It's her way of letting it all out. And I actually think it's pretty healthy. So it's a good thing. All right. So moving on. Never let them push you forward. All right. If you need to go through those present levels 50 times, you do that. All right. You need to understand that IEP to a T. You need to make sure that everything is in the present levels that is relevant to their needs. All right. That doesn't mean you have to write a book and put every last thing, but you want a good picture of where their needs are, specifically from recent evaluations. Okay. Do they have auditory processing concerns, sensory issues, anything in regards to their adaptive behavior issues, speech, language, and OT, whatever it is, and where the needs are, fine motor, gross motor. So don't just say fine motor or gross motor. Make sure you copy and paste from the evaluation where those areas are. Is it cutting? What is it? Is it writing? Where are the deficits? I want to know where they are. So if you just said fine and gross motor, I can't make a goal off of fine and gross motor. I need to know, is it scissors? Is it safety? Is it holding the scissors correctly? Is it their grip of a pencil? Okay. Is it, they are struggling in writing too big? Is it whatever it is? Is it expressive, receptive, or pragmatic language? Whatever it is it they are struggling with phonemic awareness? Are they struggling with numbers, additions, whatever it is? I don't want to hear math calculations. I don't want to hear just fine and gross motor. Of course, that needs to go in there. But if it says fine motor deficits, then I want examples. What are the deficits? Gross motor, what are the deficits? Academic, under reading, what are the deficits? Phonemic awareness, phonics, decoding, what is it? All right, word recognition. In math calculations, where is the deficit? Okay. You want specific examples, several of them, because if you can't paint the picture in the present levels, how the heck are you going to write goals? And if you can't paint the present levels correctly in services, how are you going to then say, okay, this child needs X, Y, Z? All right. And you don't have to be a speech and OT to figure out about how much a child needs in order to accomplish how many goals it is that they're going to need in order to be proficient and to make progress and for them not to be impacted in the educational setting. Okay. So there's so many things that go into play that you have to pay attention to when it comes to the present levels. Okay. So that's it for today. Happy Friday. It's gorgeous outside. Hopefully it is in your area too. And just remember, don't be pushed forward. Don't let them tell you that, yeah. Hi, Kim. So don't let them tell you, nope, we're not going over it again. No, we argued for about an hour and a half on this. We're not going over it again. We're not going over it again. We're not going over it again. Dude, you're going over it again. Do you know how much time you've wasted? Do you realize your interest is not in the student? Because if we have to go over it 50 times, we should all want to get it right. If there's changes that need to be made, if there's updates, what if something was necessary to be put in there? The fact that the teacher literally had a book of strengths and literally let me show you, 2 sentences of needs. I gotta make sure names aren't there. 2 sentences, y'all. Two. I even wrote on it. Hold on. Okay, there's no name. So I gotta make sure I fold this right so you guys can see it. All right. So literally, all right, 2 sentences. All right, you can kind of see that one part. All right, 2 sentences. 2! All right. And Mom was, kind of in shock, at the fact that they're arguing, the fact that, you don't want to add anything more and you think it's fine, off of a book of strengths and then 2 sentences. And it's ridiculous, And parents tell me, share my IEP anytime, share it with parents, share online. I'm kind of picky about sharing it online, but they always say share it. Hopefully someone else learns from it, et cetera, et cetera. And the thing is I hope you do learn something from it, because that's not what should be done. It's not. And it took an hour and a half of arguing with them to get to the point where we all work together, put the present levels together, They're going to send me a copy. They're going to highlight the changes. The meeting was recorded, and we got through goals, and we were in agreement with the goals, which I thought was pretty cool because, the meeting started off pretty damn rocky. And I'm glad that it worked out, but this just goes to show that, number one, you're not rushing me. I will argue with you for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't give a shit. Whatever. Those present levels are way too important to ignore. I'm here for the child. So if I have to argue the present levels for 2 or 3 IEP meetings for 3 hours each time, okay. That's you working against the child, because I will not let up until those present levels are adequate, and paint the picture of the student and their needs so that I can create, and you can create, goals based on the needs that are individually appropriate for that child. And that also challenges that child in some way, shape, or form. Okay? Because all children can learn. All children can learn to be proficient in many different things. They just learn in different ways. This child, actually, it was very clear by how it was noted that he learned from modeling, which most kids learn in that way a lot. And very rarely do I see it in an IEP. I want to see it more in IEPs because it's such an amazing way to learn. It aligns completely with the science of reading, and it's healthy. It's healthy for teachers to model or parents to model, and then the children learn that way. And it's a healthy way to learn. And then they become proficient because it is shown to them. And, it may need to be shown to them a couple times, but that's okay. I need things shown to me a couple times sometimes when I'm learning something. So what? All right. So it's one of those things where again, I've said this so many times before. Sure, you need to learn quite a bit when it comes to the IEP process. I get where many of you say, oh my God, it's overwhelming. I don't know what's next. I don't know the laws like this, or I know the laws, but I don't know how to argue at an IEP meeting, which my membership's coming, guys. All right. It's coming actually at the end of April. But for those of you who are ready to go, we're going to have it ready in approximately 2 weeks. But it's going to be ready for everyone by the end of April. But for those of you who are ready to go, my email list, my group, you guys can join early at the early bird rate. And that's where you're going to learn how to kick some ass in IEP, not literally, okay, for your child, kick some ass for your child. The win is for your child, not as in win, haha, I beat you. It's a haha, I won for the child, okay? And winning for the child is getting them what's needed and appropriate for them to progress in the educational setting. So it's not a smart alecky, smart ass way. It is a healthy and good thing. So that is what's important, okay? Don't be pushed forward. But we need to move on. This is a waste of time. We already went through this. This is what I heard today. We already went through this. Why do we have to go through it again? We already went through it last time, and then I'd go through some more. We already went through this last time. Why do we have to go through it again? So finally I just said, this is how I said, because we are. If you would just be quiet, stop arguing, realize that we're going over it, whether you run your mouth or not, then we can come together and get through this quickly versus you continue to run your mouth. I'm then arguing back with you and we're wasting time. So which way do you want to do it? I'm willing to do either, but it makes more sense to me that we go over the present levels. And yes, I asked them to go through it word for word, damn it, because I want to read everything. And honestly, for parents, it's really good for you to hear it in an auditory way, line by freaking line, because I cannot tell you how many times we miss things when we skip over or just allow them to read the summary. Because guess what? The summary is not typically everything that's in the present levels or even in the evaluations. The summary is their interpretation and their choice of words that they want to put in the summary that is not always in alignment with either the evaluation or what could be, if appropriately written, in the present levels. So you have to be meticulous. They want to rush you. They want to get through it. They want to put their own stamp on it and what they want in the present levels. And I even said to the teacher today, I said, you do realize you have no idea how to write present levels. You really need to go look up in the state of California their list of how they are to write present levels, which is all over the damn US, by the way. But, just look it up on the education site, Department of Education. And you just put in present levels, for California, and it tells you exactly what should be in the present levels and how it should really be appropriately written. And it's the same in New York. It's the same in, both my major cases right now are New York, California, and Texas, the three biggest states. And so, hello. I'm not really sure why it's so freaking hard. I really don't. I think it's a choice thing, honestly. And they just throw what they want to in there. I mean, I will say there's some present levels from teams that I've seen that are better than others. Some I don't have to add a whole lot, Some I have to take away some, meaning certain words. All right. I don't like to see may in an IEP. Present levels. I don't know what may means. What does may mean? They may do this or that. I mean, that's not what should go in a present level. Present level is where they are presently, not what they may or may not do. That's a hypothetical. I mean, we can't put that in a present level. Another word I don't like is appears. It appears this. I don't care what it appears to be. I mean, sometimes things appear, one way to you and may appear differently to me. So who are we to assume that this is how it should be? We need to go by facts. Facts are what go into the present levels, not assumptions, not guesses, not I think, not it may, not it appears. All right. What's another word? Hang on. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you, this is one word and I can't put my finger on it. Oh, may display. It kind of goes together. All right. Yeah, maybe. If it's not a fact, meaning the child can, the child cannot, that's it. All right. Sarah has difficulty in expressive language because, for example, etc. I want examples. Okay. I don't want just statements. I want examples. Tell me what they're doing. If you know why, for sure, factually, state that. I also want to know, what are you doing about it? The child has the need. What are you doing? Tell me what you're doing. I'm working with the child in a very explicit and systematic way by modeling and the I do, you do approach. With the I do, you do approach, the child needs 2 prompts, verbal prompts. I want that specified, verbal, gestural, whatever. 2 verbal prompts. And I'm modeling, etc., whatever it is that they're doing. You want to know how they're learning. Just like you want to know how data is taken. Just like you want to know what in gross motor is the difficulty. What in fine motor is the difficulty. What in reading is the difficulty. Need, etc. Okay? You have to paint the whole picture when it comes to present levels, not just make a statement of, okay, the child's wonderful in this, they like to swing, and, she's having trouble with, addition and subtraction. That's the other thing is in present levels, if you don't ask questions, dumb move, dumb. Let's do the Julia Roberts. Bad idea. Or what was it? What was it, y'all? What was it? Bad idea? What was it? Come on, Aaron. You know what that is. Kim, what was it? Shit. And that's like a key thing. But bottom line, all right, never take them for how they are. Always fine tune. There's always something. Always. Okay? And present levels, you got to read the wording. God, you got to read the wording. All right? And once you start, I mean, I'm going to teach this in my course. My course is coming out the end of April as well. The present levels, goals, and data. Okay? And the key thing is what I teach is how to write present levels, how to take the present levels and write goals, and then how to then take data on those goals. Okay? And I've taught a lot of teachers how to do this and taught a lot of classes on how to do this. And of course, each time I get better and better. And, the best part is having teachers input and them saying, this is genius. I'm so happy to only be taking data once every 2 weeks. Or some teachers will say, I can't just do it in one day. I have to do it a couple of days because he's unable to just do, 8 out of 10, in one day, so they'll say, I've done it over 3 days, and I'm like, that's totally fine, because whether it says times or opportunities or trials, that's a matter of semantics. All right. I usually go with what sounds better or what's really kind of more appropriate in that goal and for that goal. But if you're saying an 8 out of 10 times, or 8 out of 10 opportunities as measured by data collection, that's what it always needs to say. Never, ever, ever, ever alone let it say teacher observation, teacher data. No. Okay? No. Keep that if they want to keep it. I don't care. Whatever. But it's going to say data collection as well. Okay? And so having a way in which to take data in a proficient way that makes things easy on the teacher, easy on the child. Data's not taken 24/7. Blah, who wants to do that? And they're actually able to teach, what they went to school for, what they want to do, and they're able to have fun with it, hopefully. And they're not 24/7 taking data. That sucks. All right. And on the side of the teacher, I mean, they shouldn't have to take data 24/7. I mean, this should have been taught. Some teachers just learn to take data and they are proficient in it. But a lot of teachers have told me that, because we're not taught that in school, and they've said, it's so difficult, and, I'm bitched at all the time by parents or whatever, and no one gives them the extra training on how to take data. And then they're the ones who get the shit under the stick and griped at and bitched at and everything else. And so, it's not fair. And they're supposed to be given the resources in order to just be better. The administration needs to actually invest in their amazing teachers. Hello. Didn't know how to say that one. But bottom line, guys, please, I will say this over and over. Your present levels is everything. You cannot, and I know some parents are, all right? So if I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you, all right? Stop being in a rush, all right? There's no such thing as one IEP, and there's sure as hell no such thing, and I just got in an argument with a school district on this, and I've only had, Kim, was it you? Where the team said, because I always request a 3-hour IEP meeting, okay, always. And the only thing that I will negotiate on is 2 hours. I will agree to 2 hours because I know you're going to change your mind after the first meeting. And they always do. So, bottom line, the law states, nada. I'm just kidding. It really does say nothing. All right, it states, however long the IEP needs to take. That's what the law states. So who the hell are you to put 1 hour on it? I can't say shit in 1 hour. I mean, nothing would happen in 1 hour. Nope, nothing would happen in my meeting in 1 hour. That shit would be out the freaking window, okay? I mean, that would be a joke for me, all right? I mean, it's just, no. All right, 1 hour for me would, no. No. Okay. So, and I've heard parents, when I did that like poll kind of thing of, our parents told stuff in the IEP meeting. And let me tell you something, guys. Oh my God. Oh! All right. So in Loudoun County, Virginia, it wasn't the director, but because I'm guessing they must sign, the director, superintendent, all them, they must sign, what is it, a non-disclosure. Because when they leave, like our superintendent left, which kind of sucks because even though, there was political stuff with him, but like he was actually a good superintendent where like there's some shit superintendents. I can tell you that straight up. All right. One of them being in Hampton, Virginia. I will straight up say that too. Horrible. But I won't say anything direct, but I will say horrible. Okay. And what's unfortunate is so she quit, she's like right under the director or something. And if I read it right, I'm pretty sure she was right. She's like one of the high up coordinators. And this is what happened. She resigned. She quit, like no time. Bye. I'm out. All right. And it's in the paper. I mean, she threw up. I mean, threw up to the point where I was happy for it. But I was happy for it, but I wasn't happy for it. Is that weird? Like, I had weird feelings about it. I still have weird feelings about it, to be quite honest. And I'll tell you why. Because it makes me happy that, okay, I'm not crazy. I'm not preaching bullshit to you. Because I say many times, right, Aaron, Bill, Kim, I feel like sometimes I'm like negative Nelly. Like, okay, if you listen to Raven, she's an advocate. She knows her shit. This is what I hear. But damn, she is not always for the school system and even teachers and this, that, and the other. I'm for teachers most of the time, but shit, they're just like there's doctors, nurses, everybody else. There's shit out of everybody, out of every area. All right, even in advocates. So, bottom line, it gets depressing for my own self and my own sanity because it is so negative. And because I have to preach so many negative things that happen on a daily basis. All right. So when I have, someone so close, literally 30 minutes down the road in Loudoun County, which is part of Northern Virginia. All right. Right outside of DC. And like Alexandria, that area. Okay. And a high up in administration quits and throws up and literally said, this is her words, guys. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing in the special education system. The kids that parents have the ability to hire advocates and attorneys are getting most of the things that they need. And the children that do not have that are not getting anything of what they need and what is appropriate for them. She also went on to say that the school district is basing their services, accommodations, modifications off of the child's disability category. She threw up. Threw up. And why I was happy is because, okay, proves to everybody that I talk to, okay, this is not bullshit. This is freaking real. It's real. It's really happening today. And, do you think this is just happening in Northern Virginia? Hell no. It is happening all over. It's happening in California. It's definitely happening in New York. It's definitely happening in Virginia. It's definitely happening in Louisiana. It's definitely happening in Illinois. It's definitely happening in Pennsylvania. It's definitely happening in Maine. It's definitely happening in North Carolina. It's definitely happening in Florida. And it's definitely happening in Texas. And it's definitely happening in Arkansas. And it's definitely happening in Washington State. Yeah, those are all the states I'm working at right now. Bam. Okay, so bottom line, I can tell you that what this higher up administration said is not just happening here. It is happening everywhere. So my negative Nelliness, and maybe it's my own thing, I don't like to, who wants to just always be negative, Now, granted, my personality changes in the IEP meeting. Be mindful of that. But in general, I'm not negative. That's depressing. And so I'm like, this sucks, and, it wears on you. And, it's frustrating, and it is depressing, to be quite honest. And think about that. I'm a mom, of a child with special needs. I've been through hell with my own child. And it was 6.5 years of hell. And now we're in a better place, obviously, but now I'm dealing with helping other parents get to that better place. I will not give up until that IEP is pristine. All right. And if a parent has an IEP that kind of gets, messed up a little bit, which I had a recent parent where she recently called me and said, okay, I need you to step in. I had an IEP meeting. They changed the goals a little bit. Something's not right. I then had her child evaluated by Linda Mood Bell, which thank you guys. I'm glad you guys took advantage of, the time that you could go and get those evaluations. And, but bottom line, she deviated from what I had created for her. And so then she comes back because she wanted me to rewrite the goals and figure out what happened. She thought that, she was doing the right thing, that she had learned, and, she had. And, but they use that trickery, guys. And it's not always you. I've been doing this for a long time. It's one of those things where you got to look at it like if a doctor goes to medical school for however long, and then they go to, do a specialty to become a heart surgeon or whatever, that is a lot of time, and then they have to go and practice and to become a really good heart surgeon and doctor, right? So same thing with the IEPs. I still to this day, I'll show you. This is full of research. All right. I have notebooks full, literally, of research. Okay. Literally. And so I'm always studying. I'm always learning. I'm always trying to figure things out and, why certain things are the way they are, and keeping up with, different due processes that are going on and lawsuits and so forth. And, just always learning. And so not only did I go through, my daughter's 16 and a half now, but, 6.5 years of hell with her. And of course, many years before and after that. And then doing this for the longest time and teaching and so forth. It's been a lot of time. So me catching things on the quick, if you will, and making them go through present levels word for word. I can't tell you how important that is. I can't. I cannot tell you. They say in the meetings, I'm not going through this word for word, but let me just read some of this. Or they'll say, I'm not going through this word for word, but I'll just read the summary. The hell you will. You're going to read it word for word. You are. You're going to read it. You wrote it. You're going to read it. You don't get to put all this in the present levels and not read it. You're going to read it to everybody here, and you're going to explain it. And we're going to talk about it, and we're going to collaborate. That's how it works. Okay? If you wrote it, you read it. That's how it is in my meetings. If you didn't write it, you don't read it. And if you didn't write it and the person who wrote it isn't there, you better go get them. Period. Go give them a call. They need get on the phone. And I'm not kidding, y'all. Like, I say, okay, we need to take a break. Go call them. Get them here. I don't care if they're on the phone. Get them here. So I'm no joke. If they wrote that damn evaluation, they're going to read that damn evaluation. There's no skipping. What do you need to skip for? We're talking about a child and their speech evaluation or their OT evaluation or their psychological or psychoeducation, whatever it is. You're going to go through it literally page by page, word for word. I want to hear what happened. Paint that picture for me. If you're confident in what you did, read it, explain it, own it. Don't tell me that you're not going to read it word for word. You're going to read the summary. What, the summary you came up with based on your thoughts and opinions and, in accommodating the school district and sugarcoating what happened? Because I can't tell you how many times that I've had summaries just sound completely off to the evaluation. You just said in the evaluation the child had an extensive amount of needs and had issues with all of these things and was in the extreme level and extremely below average and all of these things. And in your summary, you're saying that the child has some difficulty. Oh, I hate that freaking word. Some difficulty. Some difficulty. At minimum 3 hours, Michelle. So I always ask for 3 hours. So if they want to cap it at 3 hours, I'm okay with that. We have another meeting. My Texas teams, they're super cool, which I have 2 of those next week. And we go all day. No joke. Start at 9 o'clock. And 2 weeks ago when I had my Texas meetings, we started at 9. One of them ended at 3:30. One of them ended at 5. The attorney's always there. I'm there. I do respect the fact that they hang in there. We put a day into it. These are pretty big cases. But, I respect that about them. But at the same time, I respect 3 hours. I respect people's time, but you're going to give me those damn 3 hours. All right. So now, Michelle, like I said earlier, I will negotiate. All right. And say, all right, we can start with 2 hours because my first meeting anyway is typically talking about what evaluations I'm wanting and they need to do. Unless the child just had an evaluation within the year, I'm asking for evaluations immediately. There's a process to what I do and there's no jump in that. Parents don't get, you don't get a choice there. When they come to me, it's okay. There's a system that works. So if the child had an evaluation 12 months on, all right, you're getting an evaluation, a full formal evaluation. All right. On top of that, I ask for a FERPA request and I ask for a freaking book. Then at the first meeting, we're talking about what evaluations are going to be given. The experts are there and they're talking about what the evaluations are that are going to be given. And I always challenge this one because a lot of times experts will be there and they have no idea who this child is for real. And I've never worked with a child and yet they're giving their opinion based on their education on what the child needs in regards to evaluations and they don't even know the child. Yeah, that's why I always suggest my IEPs. My evaluations that I really like for certain students, depending on what their needs are. And then I say, then you do whatever evaluations you want to do at your discretion, but at least do the ones that I ask for. And they usually agree to that, especially after I say, if you don't, then I'm going to ask for an IEE because I don't trust you. That's it. And then they do it. Or the school district pays for the IEE. You pick, I don't care. And then we also get the Linda Mood Bell. So I got it all, and we go into that meeting ready to go. And so the next meeting is reviewing the evaluations. Third meeting is starting to create the IEP. If there's usually a fourth meeting, and it's finishing up the IEP. This is if it's smooth. All right, this is if it's smooth. All right. Fourth meeting is finishing up the IEP. Fifth meeting is if the child has a BIP. That's how it is. That's it. All right. Girl, I have so many folders. I can't even count them. But I organize them. And then my dumb self has it all online too. But I'm a paper person. So I have it all in Google Docs. I have it all in Dropbox. And I have it all in pre-framed binders. Because I'm a highlighter. I like to highlight it. But then I like to have it online. So it's always, it's in my bookmarks. So like if someone says, hey, do you know about this? Do you have this? I got it right there, So, hopefully that answers y'all's questions. You know, you just gotta stay persistent. I always say, you know, you may not know your stuff. And this is what I was getting at. You know, you may not know your stuff. All right, you may mess something up. It's okay. It can be fixed. Chill. I got you. Or other people can get you. Okay, it's good. You know, it's not gonna mess up. All right. You didn't know any better. You didn't know. That is a valid excuse, and we change it. Okay. And you know, the other thing is trying to think of my words. Look at it how you want. I'll let you come up with your own words. Okay. But bottom line, it's all about stamina. That's what it's about. Other than knowing your shit, it's all about stamina. How long you gonna last? How much time you got? Get that eye watch out, you know, get that workout thing going, you know? You get up, walk the room, turn the screen off, walk the room. I do it. I do. Okay. So I will walk my office. I will turn my screen off, listen, walk the room. I'll do squats sometimes. I'm like, I got to get off my butt. I got to move. This meeting's a long time, you know? I'll do squats. I'll use my little bands, you know, those bands that you put on your legs. I mean, I'll get all kinds of a workout while I'm in an IEP meeting. But listening as they're going through like an evaluation or whatever, because I used to like ask questions as they went. Now I ask questions like after they get through a portion. So, and I already have most of my questions other than some are established as they're going over them. But, now sometimes I'm able to, sit the whole time, but I got to get up and walk around. But, bottom line, guys, it's all about stamina. Persistence. Just like today. Had I not stayed online and told them that they are going to review the IEP again, and the present, I was specific to the present levels, with them saying, we're not going over, I mean, it was like this, we're not going over this again. We already went through this. My response, so we're going to go through it again. It's been a while, been a month. We're going over it again. Well, this is ridiculous. You know, we already went through this. I don't understand why we have to go through this again. We already did it. We already made the changes. I said, really? Because I don't see any changes. None. Zero. Well, we made the changes. So we spent an hour and a half on arguing about going over the present levels again. And, you know, if the changes were made. And then they finally figured out after they told me, oh, you're not prepared. Let me tell you, when she said that, you know, I'm not going to say what word wanted to come out of my mouth. I'm not even going to give it the time of day. But let me tell you, I want to jump through that screen. I'm not prepared. You're not prepared. Come to find out 30 minutes later, guess what I was able to do? Oh, so you thought I wasn't prepared? Huh. Who wasn't prepared now? See, you just proved my point. I got everything laid out. You all were the ones who sent the wrong stuff. You are the ones who weren't changed it, who didn't change it, who said you changed it, and completely. And then I said, and you lied to us. Lied. Y'all lied. And then it's, oh, well, we thought that we changed it. She was taking notes in the last meeting. We thought it was changed. And I was the one who came up unprepared. No, I don't think so. Meeting ended good. Thank goodness. Okay. Ended good. Yay. But words were said for sure. But we're going into the next meeting in a good way. So that's the good thing. So you guys have a good weekend. Okay. I may go live tomorrow early or late morning. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok. And I will talk to you guys soon. Make sure you join the group if you haven't joined the group, Autism on Rocks IEP group. And don't forget, persistence. You got to have that stamina. You got to have that stamina. Wear them out. It's like a fight. Boxing. The best boxer will lose if they're mad and angry. They will lose because they're fighting with all that emotion. If you're angry, they won. The other person won. Okay? Doesn't mean you can't be angry at times. That doesn't mean you can't have that feeling of anger. That's natural. But when you're going into the IEP, like I said, you got to put that face on. Oh, and the teams will say, oh, no, you got to be yourself. And, work with us, and we're going to work with you as a team. Yeah, we'll work with you as a team as long as you do what we want you to do. But you start advocating for your kid, and we don't like you no more. That's how it works. Let's just keep it real, y'all. Keep it real. But bottom line, you got to stay consistent and persistent. Stamina. Because when they're tired, they're ready to go, they're hungry, then all of a sudden, things are given to you on a silver platter. Y'all know it. If y'all people from the IEPs are listening to me and you were in an IEP meeting with me, you know it's true. So, but the thing is, getting what we want is what should be given anyway. Okay? So, no one's asking for anything that is out in left field. It's always what's needed and appropriate for the child. If a one-on-one's not appropriate and it's just going to create dependency, then a one-on-one's not needed just because the child has difficulty in reading or math. And the child gets a one-on-one or an assistance and so forth in reading and math, but that doesn't mean they get a one-on-one all day. Okay? If a child has behavior issues and it's only during reading and math, then they get a one-on-one during reading and math to help with focus and safety, redirection, whatever, but they don't get one all day. Okay? I'm not for one-on-ones just to have that codependency. They don't need to be dependent on a one-on-one. They need to be dependent on themselves and to be able to have that regulation. And if they don't, then they need to have the accommodations in order to have that happen, even if it is given a one-on-one during a period of time. There's only certain students that really need a one-on-one all day, every day, 24/7. And that's still something that needs to eventually fade, hopefully, because through a BIP and whatever else, because that's not something you want. All right. A lot of parents I want a one-on-one. I want a one-on-one. Okay, well, let's look at the situation. Let's really see what's going to be productive for the child and not a babysitter. So we need to, look at that. Okay. So again, persistence. Your kids deserve the best. All right. And what's needed and appropriate and individualized for them. And that is what we fight for. That is why I'm here. That is why we are all here. And it is always in the interest of the student and what is going to help them bridge their gap in order to make progress in the educational setting. I will see you guys soon and have a wonderful Friday.